Hey guys and gals, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. Really quick, John wrote in, um, Alan, so, don't sell me. So, hey, at least you can make me laugh this morning. That's great. I appreciate that. Okay, so, so here's a head and shoulder pattern on the 4 hour Swiss yen. This is actually a pretty good one. I mean, when I say pretty good, it just it's very minor. You know, you'd have to go over to like maybe a very intraday chart. Okay, looks like this. It's got a little head. I think if it breaks the neckline, you know, it can open the door for a move lower. I mean, it's kind of tight, but I think it'll still accomplish the same job. I tend to like a little bit more definition in the head, if you will. But thanks for pointing that out, James. All right, we're going to get into our morning analysis, obviously, and I want to get through all of our majors. Yesterday, I missed some of these charts, which you guys can see, like the peso. Have you guys seen that thing? That thing just ripped. I mean, thank God I'm not turning my charts upside down and trying to trade this thing like some people do. Look at that. My God. Where is this going? I guess, you know, I mean, we'll need this chart. So I have to tweet this because I'm so, you know, what I'm so scared about that some people are really, they just fade this stuff because they think that, like the trend is not, it's like, okay, you know, okay, if you know that, that the market is risk averse, right? You know the market's going to be risk averse. How do you not know that the US dollar Mexican peso is not going to go up with it? When you have people that are quote unquote hedge fund managers, macro professionals that, that state this, it's like, how do you not see that? If I mean, I'm just a lowly old technician. You know what I mean? You know, how do you not see that that's possible? So I'm gonna have to um, point this out because if I don't point it out, people that continue to fade this are just gonna get killed. You know? I'm not gonna name names. I should name names. George knows exactly who I'm talking about, don't you, George? Alan, I haven't been long the New Zealand dollar for quite some time. Just FYI. George, who am I talking about? You're laughing, but who am I talking about? Do you know exactly who I'm talking about? I bet you do. Nope. Other one. Charlatan. Yep. He told us to turn our charts upside down and look at the and say who would be buying this. I said, me? That was right here. Right there. So you're crazy if you're going to be buying that. I was like, well, obviously I'm not using names. George knows who it is. All right, U.S. dollar, Mexican peso, butterfly extensions at the 127% or 161%. Regardless, try not to fade strength just yet. Okay. Oops, shit. I didn't shoot. Sorry, guys. I didn't, I have to spell. It's nice if I can spell. Let me delete that. Butter. How about, no, how about how about butterly? What the hell was that? Butterfly. Jesus. Okay, here we go. 12. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. I did to spell that correctly. Anyway, all right, charts out. Ziggy. So. Hey, the yen and the yen and the yen and when the S&P goes down, the yen strengthens. So what? I just can't believe somebody said that. So, so what do you mean? So it's an observation that you should be aware of. So, so it's an inside joke of whoever responded to me. Some dude like when I tweeted that the other day. I thought it was the funniest thing. So what? So if the S&P goes down, the yen's going to continue to strengthen. So what am I supposed to do with that information? Well, if the stock market goes down, you short every yen pair around. Does that make sense? So. All right. Anyway, I'm having too much fun here. All right. Let's. Here's the euro dollar. Okay. So what do we do with this? First and foremost. I think we have to respect the fact that we stopped at that 127% extension above 110. I would be a buyer. There was something I wanted to ask Mark Chandler yesterday, and I didn't get an opportunity to. But it's all right. I'll actually probably ping him in public and ask him. Anyway, we're talking about the dollar, but so here's the euro. The euro, we stopped at 127% extension. That was a big deal above a 110, at the 110.30 or 110.40. Now, let's take this most recent low to high. 50% retracement is containing. So that means that for today, I would say that 119.20 is really key support. You don't want to see that level break. Okay? You don't want to see that level break there. You just don't. If that level breaks, then I think that we're going to have some problems. However, one of the other things that I think we should pay very close attention to is the fact that the stock market's under pressure. If the stock market continues under pressure, the resistance right here, okay, the resistance right here it could be in play if stocks continue to fall. The one thing that I can't deny, and the one thing that we can't deny from a correlation standpoint, is as stocks go down, we continue to see a squeeze higher in the euro. All right. I would think at some point that would stop, but I don't know where that is. And that's the question that I actually had for Mark Chandler yesterday that I totally spaced it. I had it written down too, which is, I guess it was just too busy. But anyway, as the stock market goes down, the risk is that the euro could drift higher. If the stock market bounces, then the euro might come under a little bit of pressure, just because people still assume that there is a squeeze in this carry of the euro. All right. So right now, 110.40 119.20. We're kind of in the middle, and I don't think that's going to change before retail sales. So support being 1.0920, resistance 110, was 110.40. Okay, and we are in a range trading environment now. Today's retail sales, the market's expecting 0.1% better than expected on core um, and core retail sales and retail sales. From what I've read, this holiday season spending's been not as strong. But we're going to get November's numbers anyway, so December's numbers are going to be next month. December's numbers will be more important, but um, we'll we'll see. That news probably will push the euro to one of these bands here to support or resistance following the news. Looking at where we're at right now, we'll probably get pushed down to support on a strong retail sales number. A weak retail sales number will at least break 110 and maybe, over here. Um, let's go over to the pound. All right, here's the pound. You guys, excuse me 1 second. I'm going to have to, excuse me. Thank goodness I got the tissue paper with the aloe on it, which is nice. Okay. So here's the cable. Cable's been a lot stronger than I had thought it would be. I bought the euro pound yesterday. Didn't anybody get long the euro pound with me? I don't know if any of you guys did. I'm still long euro pound. I'm only up 16 pips, but yeah, a few of you guys did. Okay, yeah, I'm up a little bit. I'm just surprised the pound's as strong as it is. I'm truly like more or less flabbergasted. Resistance is at 152, but I think really key resistance comes in a little bit higher at 152 and a quarter. Since it's the cable, I think it's entirely possible that the cable breaks above these highs and trip stops. I really do. Okay. Um, I really think that this is possible here. It'll look like this. Let me grab the pen. I'm thinking that we can actually break through 152 and then reverse. I think that's possible. Remember, that's a pretty, that to me is a very, very distinct trend line that comes down. That has to be respected. This one right here. So we've played it. We played it on the short side up here. If you guys don't recall, I think it's going to be very important on the way back up. So I know resistance is at 152, but I'm going to write down 152.5225. Okay. So support is 151.10, right? I'll be happy as a pig and poo if that breaks down. Whoops. Because I'm short pound yen and I'm long euro pound, so 151.10. Amanda said the IMF was talking the UK up earlier and it bounced from 151.25. Oh, really? Got it. Jay said the fall is coming. Chill. Chilling, man. Just chilling. I'm waiting for it. Wait for it. Swissy. You know what's holding up really well today? I have to admit, with the stock market getting battered down today, Swissy's holding up really, really well. Okay. That, in my opinion, this support right there, I mean, I know we have horizontal support here, but support at 98 cents is going to be huge. I actually think, talking about the Greek gods, if we do this today, if we have like a weak retail sales number, I think you got to be a buyer down here at 98 cents. I really do. It's holding up really well, even as stocks are coming down. Okay. Resistance is obviously at this 99, 99.10. Support 98. Resistance 99.10. I'll be happy if that breaks, but excuse me. All right. Dollar yen. Dollar yen. What a perfect reversal yesterday. I mean, perfect reversal. Like I said, I was away. I glanced at my phone. Like actually, as I was sitting in the theater last night, waiting for my wife to do her presentation, I glanced at my phone and I said, "Oh, dollar yen's at 122." I'm like, man, it should fail here. I was thinking, and boy, did it. I mean, what a perfect failure. Range, range bottom. We hit it, and boom. Just a big, big reversal. A couple of you guys got short, which is awesome. Sorry. A couple of you guys got short, that was awesome. But 122.25, obviously. Now, any move back up to 122, any move up to 122 would be great. Tamilika said, well, any, limit orders would be okay for you. Yeah, I know. I don't always remember, nor have the time, nor want the exposure. Okay. So like for yesterday, for example, that's perfect, but I'm already short pound yen, Aussie yen, Canadian yen, New Zealand yen, and I have a little bit of Swiss yen. So did I want to really expand on my yen exposure, after having several down days? Not while I'm not in front of my computer. I mean, if I was sitting in front of my computer and I saw us move up there, I'd probably be scalping for shorts. But I can't not be in every pair. Okay, I can't be in every pair. I won't do it. And I have to watch my exposure. So, case like that, no, I'm not willing to put in a limit. Although it would have been perfect, but I don't live in woulda, shoulda, coulda land. And I know a lot of traders do, which, you'll never get far if you feel that way. But it was a really great reversal, respecting that. 122, any move back up to 122 is going to be sold if we can get up there. I can pretty much tell you that there's a lot of people looking at it this morning going, holy crap, like me. Oh my God, I missed 122.20 last night. How the hell that happen? Get me back to 122 and I'm selling. You're gonna have people that are long are saying, oh man, why didn't I just take profits up there? I've been trying to get out of this piece of garbage. I should have had some, I had my limits at 122.40. I was thinking that we would, take some stops above here. I could get out of some of my longs from up here and did by 10 pips. Oh crap, now if we can get anywhere up there, I'm going to sell. I mean, there's going to be a lot of sellers up here. And now that we know it's been respected, now you'll have sellers lining up out the door when we get back up here, if we get back up there. That's an if, not a when. Okay. All right. Support 121.05. That's major. If that breaks, You're going to see a watershed of stops getting taken. We are still in a range with the dollar yen. All right, let's go with the Canadian. The Canadian. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Ooh, not that. Okay, so here we are. Now, it's always tempting, right? You see these like long wicks and you go, oh, it's that time of day. There tends to be some profit taking. I want to get short here. Maybe we came in just shy of the 161% extension. That level, I'm assuming, is going to get touched. Okay, so now you have support at the breakout point, which is at 136.20. Resistance is up here at 136.90. Plain and simple. 136.20. Don't let that Paul Franco guy talk you out of taking that trade. I love Paul. I just had to harass him a little bit. That is major resistance. That's 161% extension. And if you guys want to fade the Canadian, like in my opinion, if that was your cup of tea and you're like, well, excuse me, I want to fade it. I would wait till we hit this 161% extension, maybe even trip some stops above 137 and then short. Like if you really wanted to fade that move, that's the way I'd play it. I mean, I don't want to do that, but I'm just saying if I was to take that trade, I'd be looking for a move slightly above just to fade that. Okay. A couple of you guys asked, is that a flag? I mean, like this. I mean, it could be, most definitely. That's why I just don't think fading it's the right trade right now, personally. Okay. Alan said, I'm sorry on the dollar yen. Oh, could be. Hold on really quick. Let me check. Sorry, guys. I just don't feel too. I'm not feeling too hot. As the morning drags on when you're not feeling good, and then it starts to get worse as it progresses. I mean, it could be. If we break those lows, you might try measuring that. You know what I mean? Like, if we break lows through 121, you can start looking at targets, seeing if this number matches up with anything, which it may. I mean, actually, that really probably coincides with what we're seeing here. It's really possible, Alan. Possible. Okay. Sorry, where am I at? I was just at the Canadian. When I get back, we're going to do the Kiwi, the Aussie, everything else. So don't go anywhere. Guys, I'll be right back. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. And if I sound like a train wreck, it's because I feel a little like a train wreck right now. Excuse me. Let's see. All right. Let's go over to the, where am I at? What are we doing? Kiwi. All right, so here's the Kiwi. So here's the daily chart on the Kiwi. Really, this is really turning out to be some pretty major resistance on the Kiwi. Now, look at that gravestone doji right there. John asked, did you ever get a hold of the Morrow method? Yeah. If you want it, you can email me. Granny gave it to me. Thank you very much. Let's see. 67.85 support. Now it's creeping up too. I mean, this is, you can see it all here. It's just creeping, creeping, creeping. It's gonna be at 66.30. What? 66.30? Damn, that far? I guess it is. You know, by the time we get there, it's gonna be like 66.50 realistically. So I'll just write that down. Support 0.6650. Resistance is at 67.80. 67.80. 67.80. Significant resistance. If we break that, the Kiwis, you got to start looking at the Kiwi as a breakout on a lot of different things. Let's go over to the Aussie. We're coming into some pretty key support here. So we have this wedge that we've been looking at, but man, this reversal in the Aussie is pretty strong. We didn't have any Aussie data last night. Let me double check. No, we didn't. And this is all just risk aversion. So, I mean, we should stop here, theoretically. But if we break 71.75, it's gonna be nothing but crying below there. Excuse me. And sorry guys, I sound so nasally. It happens. You guys know I don't get sick that often. If you've been listening for any amount of time, you know, the last couple of years or longer, you know, I just don't. But it's hard to avoid. I got 2 people in my house with pneumonia, and the other one was just sick over the last month and a half. It was bound to happen, bound to get to me at some point. All right, so if we get a bounce here and you move back up to this previous support, it's going to find some sellers. I mean, you can make the assumption that we hit it low. That's going to be a 618. 50%, pretty close. Okay, so and I can't draw that yet because I don't know if that's a low, but any bounce back to 72.75 should find some sellers. 72.75. We're in a range. Okay, dollar index. Oh, look at that. Wow. Talking about capping prices, we drew that out yesterday, like this. We were somewhere like this yesterday, and I said, well, we can watch that trend line. I mean, look at how well we respected. I haven't touched this chart since yesterday. Holy crap! You know that the good news is because of that, we know where the breakout point is, no doubt. Okay, it's at 98 cents, and that's big now. Resistance 0.98. Oops, 98.00. Big time. Okay. If the dollar index breaks above that resistance, it'll be big. Okay. Support, obvious. Excuse me. 97.20. Okay. All right, let's over to the, where am I at? Okay, here's the peso. So 127% extension on the peso is at 1760. But where do you buy it? You know, like, I want to buy it here. $17.20, $17.60. US dollar, Mexican peso. Support 17.20. If you guys want to take a shot at it on the long side, down there is the place to do it, I think. 17.60. That's the 127% extension. And yes, it's bullish. Hold on real quick. Stand by. Okay. Let me see something else too. This high right here. Okay, this high right here was at 1730. This high right here is at 1734. Basically where we're at right now. So you got to think about that. That these those resistance, the previous resistance is going to act as support. All right, let's go over to the U.S. dollar, Norwegian krona. Very strong recovery. It's very choppy though. I don't even know what to do with that. U.S. dollar, Swedish krona. Also very choppy. Okay. I don't know if I don't know if there's anything to do with this one either. All right, and I think that's it. I think those is the bias chart. That's gonna be it.